Hi, good day all of you. Welcome to our channel Intelligible Tutorials and welcome to our session. In this session, we are going to talk about artificial neural networks. In our previous session, we started the bio-inspired computing methods and bio-inspired computing techniques. What are the uses of bio-inspired computing techniques? How they can solve the complex problems and the real world problems. All these things we have seen. Now we are going to see the first method of the artificial neural networks, of the bio-inspired computing methods. This is called the first method of the bio-inspired computing methods, which are inspired by the human brain. In the 1943, MC Coolidge and Pitts are two different number of the scientists. They have worked on artificial neural networks. They implemented a different learning model based on human brain, how it takes the information through the neurons and the input units, how it processes, how it generates the output through the output units. They invented the first artificial neural networks, hence they are called the father of the artificial neural networks. And in 1949, Hebb, he is the name of the scientist, Hebb, he has created some law on the artificial neural networks. It is treated as Hepburn law. And in 1954, Marvin Minsky has proposed some different kinds of the models of the artificial neural networks for handling different kinds of the problems. So later on, so many number of the research works has done in these artificial neural networks. The first artificial model, neural model, was invented by MC Coolidge and Pitts. These are the two different names of the scientists in the 1943. This is the history of the artificial neural networks, which is the very first method of our bio-inspired computing methods. And now we see, we listed various characteristics of the artificial neural networks. The first characteristic is robustness. The artificial neural networks are invented in a way to handle the complex problems, robust problems, and as well as the strong problems. The next one is nothing but fault tolerance. Fault tolerance means due to any kind of the disaster, due to any kind of the disaster happening or any kind of the issue, we can lose the data, but here there is no such problem because artificial neural networks are treated as the fault tolerant systems. They can be backed up very easy by being the distributed behavior. Artificial neural networks are not centralized mechanism systems, they are distributed mechanism systems. The layout of the artificial neural network or the structure of the artificial neural networks now we are going to see here. See, these are the input units I1, I2 and I3. These are the output units. Here we give the input, weights along with the input, weights also we can give. These nodes are called as input nodes. These nodes in between are called as hidden nodes and these are called as output nodes. This is the basic structure of the artificial neural networks. They are completely connected. Okay. Hence the other name of the artificial neural networks, the first is given as connectionist models. One of the property of the artificial neural networks are completely connected or fully connected, not partially. So hence these are also treated as connectionist models. This is also one of the name given to the artificial neural networks. The next one is distributivity. Distributivity means the data cannot store at one single input unit. The data will be distributed to various kinds of the input unit. That means if at all any kind of the issue this was failed, the other node will take the responsibility of this particular node because it is also connected to this. It can send the data to this particular hidden node to which it is connected. It was failed due to any kind of the problem. This node will take the responsibility of this particular node. That means the data is not stored at the central point. The data is distributed to the multiple number of the hidden nodes, and it is fully connectivity. Because of its fully connectivity, because of its distributivity in nature, it can obviously fault tolerant. Hence we can say the artificial neural networks are fault tolerant systems. The next characteristic of the artificial neural network is variety of the data. Artificial neural networks not only handle one single type of the data, it can handle structured data, it can handle unstructured data, and as well as it can handle textual, graphical, image data, all kind of the sounds, audio, video, all kinds of the data it can handle. So large data it can handle. So that is one of the characteristic of the artificial neural network, to handle the variety of the data. The next one is nothing but collective computation. Collective computation means what? Not only one single node, at this one single node the computation will not start. The computation will start at all the ends. All the input nodes will work at one single point of time. At the same time, all the hidden nodes will work at the one single point of time, and all the output nodes will generate the output at one single point of time. This is called the collective computing. In the collective computing, all nodes will take the responsibility, not only one single node. That is the collective computation. The next one is nothing but slow processing. This is somewhat drawback of the artificial neural networks. They process the data slowly. Why? Because they have to handle large amount of the data. This large amount of the data processing may be slow, but the output is very efficient. Hence, this may not be a big drawback in the artificial neural networks. The next characteristic is called as distributed. Already we have seen in the fault tolerant characteristic what is the meaning of the distributed. Distributivity means the data cannot store at one single point of place or one single node itself. It will be distributed. The same amount of the data is distributed among multiple number of the nodes. That means what is the advantage behind the distribution means any one of the node fails, the data can be recollected again by the next neighbor of it. It will take the responsibility of giving the information. The replication of the data is existing in all the nodes. Hence, that is called the distributivity. Distributivity is very good characteristic of the artificial neural networks for fault tolerance and as well as for processing also. The next one we are going to see is parallel processing. Here it is parallel processing, not only one single processing. Parallelly all the nodes will work. Parallelly input node will work, parallelly hidden node will work, parallelly the output node will generate the output. So all this is parallel processing, all the nodes. Not only one single node is taking the responsibility of computation, then the next node, not the sequential like that. The processing can be parallelly, one by one, the parallelly one after all the input nodes will process first, then all the hidden nodes, then all the output nodes. Like that parallelly all the input nodes will work, all the hidden nodes will work, and all the output nodes will work. Hence this is called as collective computing and as well as the parallel processing. The next characteristic of the artificial neural networks is huge data. As we already discussed that the artificial neural networks are having the capability of handling structured and as well as the unstructured data, that includes text, audio, video, graphical, all kinds of the data. So it can handle huge amount of the data. It contains more amount of the data. Unstructured data is not in one form. It can be multiple forms. So it is a huge data. It can have the characteristic of the capacity of to handle the huge data and multiple forms of the data. The next one is complexity. Artificial neural networks, the structure itself, it look like somewhat complexity. They exhibit complexity. It is somewhat difficult to understand. So it exhibits some complexity in processing, in understanding and all these cases. And the next one, large storage. We have already seen it can handle the huge amount of the data and it is having the capability of storing the large amount of the data. So huge data handling and large storage handling are one of the best characteristics of the artificial neural networks. The next one is nothing but control mechanism. Controlling mechanism means in the human brain there is no controlling mechanism. All the things can work parallelly, can work with one after other, and collectively they will work. There is no controlling mechanism. In the artificial neural networks also there is no controlling mechanism. But somewhat controlling limit is there at the input nodes. They can take the data input along with the weights. They can stop the controlling of the data at the input nodes. So we can say the input nodes are one kind of the controlling units in the artificial neural networks. The next one, they can handle various kinds of the data that can be given as the supervised learning and unsupervised learning and semi-supervised learning. See, these three are the various kinds of the learning techniques: supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and as well as semi-supervised learning. Artificial neural networks are designed in a way to handle all the three kinds of the problems. So they can handle supervised learning, they can handle unsupervised learning, and as well as they can handle semi-supervised learning. In the supervised learning, what kind of the neural networks that can handle, now we are going to see in the supervised learning. Supervised learning, we have the first one, perceptron. Number 2, multi-layer, feed forward, back propagation. Like that, we have various kinds of the neural networks for supervised learning. Whereas in the unsupervised learning, we have, for unsupervised learning, Hopfield neural networks, Cohen neural networks. Like that, we have different kinds of the neural networks for handling unsupervised learning and clustering type of the data or grouping type of the data. The third one is nothing but semi-supervised learning. Semi-supervised learning, it is the combination of supervised learning and as well as the unsupervised learning. The best network that can handle the semi-supervised learning is convolutional neural networks. These convolutional neural networks can handle the data according to our requirement. It is the labeled data or as well as it is unlabeled data. The labeled data also we can get by using the convolutional neural networks and convolutional neural networks, and as well as the unlabeled data also we can get by using the convolutional neural networks. These are the sophisticated networks which can be used for deep learning, which is nothing but semi-supervised learning. According to our use, we can get both labeled and as well as the unlabeled data. So these are the various kinds of the neural networks that can be used for supervised, unsupervised, and as well as semi-supervised learning. In our coming sessions, we see various kinds of the neural networks, each and every one. Thank you.